All right, guys. Welcome. Welcome to the Hiking Lions Cooking Channel. Or should we call this America's Prepper Kitchen? Let's see here. What do you guys think about testing this thing out? So I figured we'd do a little bit of off-the-grid cooking, a little bit of off-the-grid kitchen, camping, base camp type of style, like just recreate essentially why I got the EcoFlow. It's the EcoFlow Delta 2, EcoFlow Delta 2, 1,000 watts, 1,000 watt hours, 2,200 peak watts of power with 1,800 continuous watts. So we're gonna put that to the test. This is 1,200 to 1,500 watts. So our first meal is in here. I'll bust it open here in a second, but we're gonna make a little bit of a tuna pad thai, shall we? Let's plug this bad boy in. Okay. So this is gonna be our first shot at boiling water in this thing. So let's see if it does it. See, we're on over there at 100%. And also, we're going to see how much energy this actually consumes. Remember to like and subscribe, guys, if you like what you see. So, supposedly, it can run a kettle at 1,600 watts for 0.4 hours, so half an hour, essentially. So let's give this a shot. We're at 100% power. Turn that on, so we're getting a little bit of a flow here. It's definitely so we had this in the weatherproof bag that it came with. It was a $449 for the waterproof bag and the EcoFlow Delta 2. So let's go ahead and open this up. I like to make these for when I go camping. They're ready to go. Usually if it's a 2-night camping trip, I'll grab 2 of these for my partner and I, and they'll make at least one meal. So, in here, I like to put a little bit of trail mix inside each one of these. We have our tuna, and I decided to go with the low sodium. We have our water's heating up. We'll see how much power that consumes. We have our shrimp ramen. And I have this bulk vegetables. So I like to package some dehydrated veggies that I get at Winco. And it's almost boiling. It didn't take very long. So we're going to do this the old school way. I normally don't do this, but we're going to cook everything inside this Mylar bag just to show you guys how and that you can do it. Hey! Thank you so much. Yeah, again, this is basically one of the reasons I got this EcoFlow is because I'm simulating how I would cook at camp. You know, car camping type of scenario. Instead of using my Coleman stove or propane or fuel, I'm trying to see how many meals I'm going to be able to cook with this EcoFlow Delta 2. So we'll drop our veggies inside this Mylar bag. Now, you're not supposed to technically put boiling water inside these Mylar bags, but they are lined with plastic. So again, I'm showing you how we used to do it back in the day before we knew about PFAS and all that good stuff. So, and one suggestion, if you are afraid of the plastic lining melting, which it won't, but if you are, just pull it a little bit before boiling, or let that just kind of hang out there for a second and let it cool off from 212 degrees to about 200 maybe. Now it looks like we used about 7% power to get to boiling, and that was exactly like what I was trying to figure out. So we should get like 14 boils out of this, which essentially would mean 14 meals. So we have our veggies right here, dehydrated vegetables. Remember to like and subscribe, guys. Trying to blow up this channel. All right. So we'll get the veggies hydrating real quick. And while those are hydrating, So the veggie mix does have. Oh, it looks like I need a spoon. Excuse me, guys. I'll be right back. All right, causing a riot up in this. Now let's see how long my toddler allows me to do this. So again, this is a Camp Pad Thai. Just heated up some water with this EcoFlow Delta 2. A little bit of off-the-grid camping. And this is also kind of another reason why we got this EcoFlow battery pack. In case the power goes out, you know, you kind of want to avoid using propane inside the house. And I guess this would apply more in the winter time. Drop some of that, the rest of that tuna in there. This would apply more in the winter time. You wouldn't really want to have the windows closed and powering a Coleman stove and smoking up the house with some carbon monoxide. So let's put a little bit more water in here. Actually, let's drop the ramen in there. Now again, the vegetables that we put in here are pre-seasoned, so we'll put about half the ramen package. Let's break that in half, and then we're gonna break it in half one more time. So in here we have tuna, some bulk dehydrated vegetables, and now our shrimp ramen, and then this is where the magic happens. A little bit of dehydrated or powdered peanut butter. I think it's a P&B peanut butter mix. About a tablespoon of peanut butter mix makes this fake campsite pad thai. Put the rest of the water in there. This is a half a liter or 16 ounces, I mean. Cover that. All right. So we'll let that reconstitute in here. Oh, but we're not done, guys. We are not done. Fixing to make up something special for you guys. So we'll let our shrimp ramen pad thai with vegetables sit here, and we're gonna let that cook. And we'll put this kettle away. Let's bust out the induction cooktop, huh? Again, you can look at this as a grid down scenario simulation. Say the power goes out for a little bit. Or a couple days. You know, what kind of inspired me to get on this was, unfortunately, a lot of times, you know, you're motivated by disasters, but doing research on what happened down in Georgia, it is some seriously scary stuff. Let's see here. Okay, so this peak 2200 watt power output, and so it's for the initial surge of power. And it has a continuous run of 1800 watts, which is what I believe this induction cooktop is rated for. Again, this is the Delta, the EcoFlow Delta 2. This is the basically as small as you could get as far as the Deltas go that can power something that's 1800 watts continuously at least. So yeah, let's get this rocket fuel going, bro. Okay. We're going to start off at about 320 degrees on the skillet. Let that heat up. Grab a couple utensils. Do a little bit of off the grid cooking right here. Now, technically, this meal wouldn't be considered 100% off the grid. Man, this thing heats up fast. Since we did charge the EcoFlow with an AC cable, so we need to buy a couple of so this thing should stay on for about 27 minutes. It's already drawn 1%. Drop some butter in here. It's immediately got hot. So we're at about 50% power for the induction cooktop. In here we got a little bit of oats, some chia seeds, some flour, baking soda, baking powder. What else we put in here? We have some maple syrup as well. So I would pre-mix basically everything. We have some powdered milk, also some milk. So I would make powdered milk, mix it up with everything, put it inside of a jar, and then a can. I would just add water. So again, let's see how many pancakes we can make using just the EcoFlow. This is how I intend to start camping, or at least cooking at camp. Now, we did purchase a generator recently, one of those Furman 3200s. We got it at Costco. It was about $600, like $620. The idea is if the grid does go down, the power goes down, it runs on propane and gasoline, so we have about 10 gallons of gasoline. We have 2 5-gallon or 5-pound propane containers. So from my understanding, 1.8 gallons will run the generator for, let me think, I believe it was 9 to 12 hours. This takes about 50 minutes to charge from 0 to 50%. So the idea is 0 to 80%. So the idea is to run the generator 1 hour a day if we need to, cook while the generator is running with an induction cooktop, and while charging this for the duration of that hour, and then for the rest of the meals throughout the day, and to charge our phones, we would just use the EcoFlow. So again, mostly it's the reason we bought it is for multiple reasons: backpacking, overlanding, car camping type of scenarios, and where you live in the Pacific Northwest, where beyond just the possibility of volcanoes, there's a possibility of tsunamis, these crazy cyclones that come through, tornadoes are possible here. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I failed the Appalachian Trail 3 times. If anybody has any questions on that. Let's see, we're going to use 4%. We might turn up the heat a little bit to 360. This is going to draw more power, but it will cook faster. So we're experimenting here, guys. We're learning together. I don't think this will be the most efficient way to cook. Harry, what's up, brother? Welcome back. We got our pad thai, shrimp pad thai set up right here. It's ramen, a little bit of peanut butter powder. We have tuna and some I get vegetables, dehydrated vegetables in bulk. It's already pre-seasoned. Basically, it's a vegetable soup mix. Drop some of that in there. Okay. It's a good looking pancake. What do you guys think? It's a good looking pancake. Thanks for joining, guys. What I like about this induction cooktop is that it does let you take off the pan for a little bit. I also have an induction wok. Experiment before use. Yes, sir. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you so much. Have a little tray off to the side here. Yeah, so we'll see how many pancakes we can make using this. I think what a better option would be it would be a square griddle. That way you can drop maybe 4 pancakes at once in there. So that might be something worth investing in. Now, cast iron is induction friendly. It's actually one of the, I think as far as like ferrous metals, I believe is the word when I did the research. Magnetic metals, basically, is how you power an induction stovetop. Hey, it's not a bad looking pancake. Homemade bad boy. Look at that thickness. All right, we gotta hurry here because this thing is eating power. Oh, that's hot. So we'll turn down the heat a little bit. Get back down to 320. Oh yeah. Make a little bit bigger pancake. Go. Paper towels are your friends while in camp. I don't know if they've designed a portable washing machine yet or something. I wonder if we could figure out a way to make something where we can bring towels and wash those while I camp. Alright, we started at 100%. We've made one pancake so far and boiled some water. We're down to 84% power. So the induction cooktop maxes out at 1800 watts and we're running it at about 50% power, I believe. So honestly, it's kind of hard to tell. I believe we're probably running around 1200 watts. Just because at 1% power, like, you know, at like the setting one, it's usually at like, I think it's at 200 or 300 watts already. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think this is probably drawing 1000, 1200 watts. This outputs 1800 watts. And after boiling some water and cooking one pancake so far, this is the second one, we're at 83%, which is interesting. So and I only boiled 16 ounces of water, to be fair, just enough for one meal. It's looking almost done. I think the bigger pancake is obviously the way to go. It doesn't feel too hot. Again, just got the EcoFlow, guys. Testing it out with some induction. Probably give this a flip here in a second. Should I bring y'all in for the cook cam? Let's bring it in for the cook cam. Yeah, let's bring it in a little closer, huh? Let's get intimate with it. All right, this is ready for a flip. Oh, a little off on the timing on that one. Got a little dark on that side. Probably we've got about an 8.5 darkness here. We got a nice 8 to 7.8 here. This is the zone I like to land in. Probably like the 7.5. A little underdone there. Yes, so I do have a bread machine. And I've also made French bread. I've been kind of in pancake recently. So I have 50 pounds of flour that I'm trying to figure out what to do with as far as prepping away. Trying to, you know, with the prices of everything going up, we're thinking about prepping away some dried goods for the long haul. So I'm trying to nail down the recipe to these pancakes so that I can write it down and multiply it and make it bigger. I'm going to convert the 50-pound bag of flour into 50 pounds of pancake mix. And the reason I'm going to do that is because just on the go in camping situations and I would imagine grid down situations. Oh, that came out fast. That's a good one right there. And in grid down situations when the power's out, you don't want to be mixing stuff up. You want to do blueberry pancakes next. You know what? I agree. No, for sure. We need to make some some fruit pancakes. But you reminded me, I do have some chocolate chips. So this last pancake will be chocolate chip. All right, Andy. We've used about 20% power so far. Which isn't bad. I mean, it sounds like we're going to use about 30%, a third power to make breakfast for two. As far as pancakes go, and also our homemade shrimp pad thai. So again, I like to package these with a tuna packet, some bulk vegetable soup. I'll drop dessert in there. It's just some trail mix this time. And yeah, tuna package and ramen. Yeah, so I'll make it's a little ramen bomb. If you're feeling crazy, you can take some mashed potatoes, some dehydrated mashed potatoes, like the Idaho ones, or whatever generic brand you prefer, and throw that in there to make a really good ramen bomb. I have a bread machine, and I've been using a bread machine recently. I might mess around with that later. I like the bread machine. So the one that I have is an older one, and it works okay. It works okay. I'll give it its props. So I am used to having a little bit more options as far as like what breads you can make with the bread machine, and this older one has a little bit antiquated settings, I guess you can call it, but it's been making bread. I mean, it made bread. I went through a little phase there where I made a bunch of bread, but bro, I'm trying to lose some weight. You know what I'm saying? All right. Gosh darn, that's a good looking pancake right there. The thickness on that. Get down with the thickness. Woo! Your mother get down. Come on, get down with the thickness. Y'all get down with the pancakes. Yeah, now that I have this recipe down, might start switching it up. Maybe do like some kind of corn cake mix next. If this was a little bit thicker batter, these pancakes would be a little thicker, but that's a pretty good consistency. So we're gonna end up making 4 pancakes. We're at 76% power. And this one's gonna cook pretty fast. This is our chocolate chip pancake, guys. Remember to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. This channel's gonna have a little bit of everything: fitness, hiking, cooking, backpacking, mountain climbing, hopefully. Just lifestyle blogging. If you haven't gone to my shorts, we were at Tulip Town this weekend. We went and saw the tulip bloom. Tulips are out. Spring is here, guys. Spring is here. So mind the corny music on my shorts. I really don't know what I'm doing, but there's some good, there's some pretty looking tulips and flowers on there. Hey Harry, thanks for the love, brother. I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Yeah, so that was a full bloom. So that where those shorts are, about an hour and a half south of Canada, and about an hour north of Seattle. To give you an idea of where we're at here in the country. It's a beautiful place. North Cascades National Park, Mount Baker National Park, all sorts of Olympia National Park, Mount Rainier National Park is a couple hours south. Definitely excited to adventure. All right, this is almost done, guys. Wrapping it up here. A little America's Prepper Kitchen. Y'all in the kitchen with the hiking lion. Harry's here. Harry's killing it with his 10Ks. He's a cyclist runner from Great Britain. Are you in Great Britain, Harry? They still call it Great Britain? I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of ignorant as far as world geography is. Unfortunately, oh no, I burned it a little. The stereotype rings true with this one. Smells good. This is the chocolate pancake. This is gonna be a good one. Again, so this is kind of, we're cooking with the EcoFlow here, off the grid, camp cooking. Yes, no, absolutely. Yeah, so that's kind of one of the main reasons we got this as well, is I'm used to doing like backcountry, off the grid, just boil water. Essentially these, just like, you know, ramen pate mixes. Hummus, okay, yeah, now you're talking. So I have dehydrated hummus powder that you just mix with water, and I can make some flatbread. So the recipe is a little bit different from tortillas, but I can absolutely make it. That sounds like a great idea, for sure. Now, we'll see when our next adventure is. Now that we have the toddler, I'm going to be honest, it's a little bit harder to get out there and keep everybody happy. Now, I don't have a problem, but you know how family dynamics might be. So this is done. We'll let that cool off for just a second. And while that's cooling off, let's go ahead and bust out this pad thai, huh? Let's see how it looks. Let's see if it even all fits in this tray. Let's go ahead and try to at least be somewhat neat with it. Okay, guys, in here we have ramen, vegetable soup mix, a little bit of a peanut butter powder to kind of make it, and a tuna to kind of make kind of like a seafood fake pate. Oh, definitely a little too much. Let's see how this ends up. Oh wow, look at this, guys. Look at that. How would you like to eat that on your next camping adventure? 30%. So we made this camping ramen bomb. We made, let's see, this stack of pancakes. And we had about 1% left. So we probably could have made yeah, that's probably maxing it out. Decent little stack of pancakes, or thick boys for sure. Let's bust one open. Let's bust one open. This is the chocolate pancake. Ooh, it's hot. Ooh! That's a good view right there. That's a good chocolatey view right there. Campsite pancakes. Off the grid pancakes, guys. I did something a little different with this pancake mix. I put some Greek yogurt, lemon flavor, and it is coming through. Fantastic. Let's check out our ramen bomb. Again, this is all, so we boil some water in a kettle, all made with this EcoFlow and an induction cooktop. So you get here. So we have a dehydrated vegetable mix and some tuna, some peanut butter powder, and some shrimp ramen. Give it a little taste test. So I didn't put that much of the shrimp ramen mix in there. I probably could have used a little more to give it a little. I am going to put some more in there. Next time I might just add it all. This vegetable soup isn't that well seasoned. That said, it does have a really nice vegetable soup flavor. It almost tastes like, imagine chicken noodle soup, only tuna style, like seafood style, is the vibes I'm getting here. So not bad. I'm going to make probably the next live video I'm going to make is going to be how to make these camping meals. It's really easy, honestly. I'm just going to package one and put a desiccant pouch in there. And at the same time, I'm going to put away a bunch of flour and oats for the prepping shelves. Definitely way healthier than normal ramen. Harry, you're going to learn, brother. You're still young. Cooking is the fastest way to a woman's heart. I'll tell you that much right now. There's chocolate pancake right there. In my 20s, I used cooking to land, honestly, like, I'm not going to say every girl I wanted, but if there was a girl that I saw that I liked, I would just tell her I know how to cook. I would just beg her to let me cook for her. Not in a creepy way, obviously. And eventually I would have her heart immediately. Alright, guys. So, update. So, final wrap up. EcoFlow. Off the grid cooking. We made 4 thick pancakes and a ramen bomb using a kettle and an induction cooktop. And we use 29% power. So taking that metric into consideration, we could cook probably, I think we use about 7% for that. Yes. So, I mean, we could make three solid meals with one charge of the Delta Flow. Yes, actually, Harry, that is one of the main reasons that we purchased this. Again, not to sound paranoid, and I think it's just maybe times are a little weird. Not saying like not to get into like political talk or whatever. Just I feel like just because some people are upset and other people aren't, it's created some kind of division. There's just a rift in the air right now. It's probably gonna blow over, but there is a tension. There is a tension here in America, and better safe than sorry. Like you never know. There's protests every weekend here. Seattle's pretty close, and I lived in Indianapolis during the Indianapolis riots. Whew. I mean, just to sum it up, tear gas flying everywhere, people breaking into banks, glass being shattered everywhere. There was people literally lighting apartment buildings on fire. It was crazy. I have video of it. I have lots of video of it actually. It was literally insane. So I mean, like I've seen the walls break down, if you will, a little bit. Yeah. So you never know. Just in case. Yes, yes, Pope Benedict. May he rest in peace indeed, man. That was a tough one. That was really, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm getting older, and maybe it's because I'm possibly, seeking out religion. Once you have a kid, I don't know, maybe it's just like imminent mortality that seems a lot more evident, which sounds so selfish. What a selfish reason to, seek fate. But nevertheless, I do find myself there. So I've been a little bit of I guess you can call it a spiritual journey, like if you will. Doing a lot of research on the different religions, doing a lot of research on Catholicism since I grew up Catholic, Christianity, all of them, Mormonism. So specifically, that seeing the news about Pope Francis, yeah, that hit hard. And a weird coincidence that JD Vance met with him yesterday. Interesting. I don't know, can't read too much into that, but yeah, it's very interesting. Pope Francis, yeah. Sorry. That was the most recent one, right? I get him twisted. I shouldn't, but I know that he was the first Latin American pope. There's some pretty sick pictures of him in the subways in France. Is it in France? I think it was in France. Right? He was an Argentinian pope? Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, and then, he brought I guess his claim to fame was that he brought the church into the 21st century. So, yeah, definitely a hardship and a loss, but hopefully it opens up the gateway to, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, like, the whole, like, religion, like, so who knows? Maybe more acceptance is good. All right. Harry, thanks for joining. You guys have any questions? Any questions at all? I know it's kind of boring wrap up, but I'll probably do some more cooking videos with this thing, just to just kind of showcase its limitations. So far, we did about, I would guess probably 28 minutes cooking time total. Yeah, and from my understanding, it's supposed to eat up about 2 watts per hour. 3 watts per hour or so. Yes, so it is solar power. It has the ability to charge up to 500 watts solar. It would on 500 watts solar, it would charge 0 to 100% in 2.3 hours. Is what I remember writing down. So yeah, it's really cool. It's a completely off the grid system. In theory, I could put a couple solar panels on top of my car and keep this thing charged, and as long as we have fuel for the car, we're set. We could like live off the grid for a little while, at least camping. I know, it's super cool, right? No, yeah, I've had my eyes on these for a long time. Like maybe in 2001, these used to cost $1 per watt hour, and this is 1,000 watt hour. So any 1,000 watt generator costs $1,000. That dropped in half. Like it's actually dropped more than half. So nowadays, this thing costs, the lowest I saw it was $414 about a month ago. We got it about 2 weeks ago for $449 with the bag. And today, you get on Amazon, it's the same price with the bag, and it's the same price without the bag. So yeah, I mean it's expensive, but I think for what it delivers, it's definitely worth the money. It has 3,000 cycles of battery, which is quite a bit. You figure by that point you would have upgraded, or yeah, just it's 10 years, I believe. Is what it's supposed to. It claims it's supposed to last. So it has the Life Pro ion batteries or something or another. It's the upgrade from the first generation. So yeah, it seems to do what it's supposed to do. Again, it's nice that it can be charged by the sun. In theory, I have a video coming up. I have a DC motor from a treadmill that still works, and I have a stationary bicycle. So I'm gonna try to create some kind of like bicycle power station, which is pretty straightforward. I think I need a power inverter. But once I have that, I should be able just to cycle my bicycle and power this. So I have to look into it further, but that honestly doesn't sound that difficult. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options to charge it, and it seems like a good buy. Better safe than sorry. All right, I guess I should probably go take care of my kid, huh? See you set. Oh man, no, yeah, no joke. Speaking of which, yeah, she's 2 years old right now. Terrible twos indeed. We went to the tulip fields yesterday, and we were there. I think it cost like $50 for the three of us to get in, and she lasted all about 5 minutes before she started screaming, and we were there for a total of 20, 30 minutes before we had to leave. So we're definitely at that terrible two phase, which is heard of, but it is what it is. Maybe here in like 3 years, we could hit the trails together. Which is funny, when I was on the Appalachian Trail a couple times, I did see families hiking the trail, and I did see like 5, 6-year-olds on it with their families. So, hey, they also look miserable, to be fair. So I don't know if I would ever do that to Violet, but we will see. All right, guys. Final look at the food. Thank you guys so much for joining. Harry, always a pleasure to talk to you, brother. Always a pleasure. Get in them runs. Oh, Harry, I didn't mean to mention, earlier you asked about what types of shoes are best for walking, and I suggested the Ultra Lone Peaks just because they're so popular in, the backpacking community. The Ultra Lone Peaks are good, but be warned, not a lot of people, not everyone, I guess you could say, like them because there's zero drop. And so what that means is normal tennis shoes will have almost a heel. It's usually like, a couple millimeters big. It's not much to make a difference, but literally it'll be like a heel that big. Ultras don't have that. It's just completely flat. Now, how that translates as far as gait goes, if you have a flat shoe, your knee might hyperextend because you're used to there being a millimeter of cushion or a couple millimeters of cushion before your foot hits. So that is something to consider. A lot of people actually, I don't know if this is true, but report injuries going to a zero drop shoe. So definitely do your extra research. Wear the shoes. If you wear zero drop shoes and you start getting knee aches, drop them. Like go switch to something else. Maybe you might need help with pronation at that point. But no, it's a pleasure, brother. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll try to be back tomorrow. Maybe I'll try to make some more food with this one. Maybe we'll see if it runs the bread maker. The bread maker normally runs for 2 hours, so I don't know if this would have enough juice to run the whole thing, but made some pancakes and made a ramen bomb. Used about 30% power. Subscribe and like, guys. Thank you so much. We'll be back. I might be back later tonight with a workout live stream. Harry, have a blessed day. Love you, brother. Take care. Thank you so much, guys. Might leave this running for a little bit just so that anybody that tunes in can rewind and watch the video. Perfect timing because the baby is freaking out. Yeah, 71% power. Let's go ahead and give this a charge real quick. Alright. This should only take about 20 minutes to charge. Whew, the worst part about cooking, guys, is the cleaning. Legs down. Ha! Still alive, Harry. Not sure you're there. I'm feeding the toddler, letting this run, and I was just gonna leave it on for a little bit. Not sure if anybody wanted to rewind and watch what we cooked. Thanks for being a loyal fan. You're my number one fan, Harry.